I'm playing Clarence, the goodest boy, the manifestation of the golden retriever puppy, which I dressed for today as well. No, he is religious for a particular reason and very sheltered as far as, certain things that might happen in this R-rated comedy go. So he is he sort of serves as this fun counterpoint to the madness of everyone else, while also bringing his own completely crazy sense of bewilderment, I think is a good way to describe him. Every goddamn scene has been incredible, and that is, I work mostly with Steph as well, and it's just been, I just wrapped out and we just had a moment where I was like talking to her and it was like, yeah, well, I don't know how to describe it. Like when you have a great scene partner, it just elevates everything, and we have such a similar sense of humor, I think, that it was just like pinging off each other and like elevating all the jokes that were already fantastic because of like Teresa and Jerry and Adele all know what the hell they're doing. It's so raunchy, my goodness. Like, the stuff that they have come up with is kind of like for a culture that is repressed, that is as famously repressed as we are, for us to be able to like let loose on this, it's like kind of a once in a lifetime, like, eat all you can buffet opportunity. And it like, I wanted to be here. I wanted so bad to be a part of this. Watching four Asian American people go through this huge like butterfly transformation, and obviously Ashley's story, resonating quite deeply with with all the very nuanced identity stuff that goes on in in the whole East Asian community, is that stuff mirrors real life pretty well. The zany comedy and skin that we put on top of it aside, those are actual issues that we tackle and struggle with, and no one has clear answers to. I think the first films I ever watched with an Asian person in them were the Stephen Chow films. Those, Shaolin Soccer, I think, and what was the other one? Kung Fu Hustle, I believe. It it wasn't that it wasn't authentic, right? But when you're part of that Asian diaspora that, or a third culture kid, and you've grown up in the Western world, those things don't exactly quite reflect you either. The trappings are things that are familiar to you, but they don't exist in the same context as what you experience in your real life. And it's nice to be part of a new wave of films that are now catering to kids who grew up like how I grew up, which is, I admit, a very specific circumstance. I mean, it's a migrant experience, and you won't get that necessarily from films from, so to speak, motherland, right? Nor will you get that, of course, from like films that have traditionally come out of like Hollywood and, Western society. It's only when those two things intersect, as we do as people intersect, that you start to get these cool little things where it's like, there are so many moments where I've been on this film where I'm like, this is my experience. Holy crap. Yes, it's much funnier than how it actually happened in real life, but I struggled with my identity too. There's so many different experiences, and the goal is really to try to get as many of those out there as possible, as opposed to squishing them all into one thing. This has been such a nice experience, and I knew Sherry prior, and then you just coming in and Ashley has this like mad leading lady energy while being freaking hilarious, and then Sabrina is such an incredible, like they make these wild choices that should not work, and they make them work, and that is so impressive. I'm so freaking impressed with Sabrina, and then of course Steph, who I'm working with a bunch, is just what a giving scene partner. Like, what a dream to work with someone who is just pinging off the same wavelength as you. And then just like between cut and action, just hanging out with them has been like so fun, because we've gotten to share stories, and we get to share stories about shared experiences, and there's no explaining that needs to happen here. There's just this shared culture that unites all of us, where I think it's a special moment in time and it's a special thing to experience.